Good evening. We start with an update on a vicious assault that happened on Windsor's east side over the weekend. A 75-year-old woman remains in hospital in critical condition. A 21-year-old man is facing charges of assault. Now today, the doctor who performed surgery on the victim is speaking, calling it the worst case of its type he's seen. Joining us with the story are Garton.
Jim, this doctor has agreed to speak with the media, and the family of the victim has also given their blessing. It's because Dr. Balraj Jawar says this assault is the most brutal he's ever seen, and in his opinion, indicative of a pattern that's emerging. An all too familiar sight in Windsor's operating rooms these days, victims of blunt force trauma.
I've seen a lot of very bad things over the years. Baseball bats to the head, lots of fistfights and so on.
But on Sunday, October 8th, 75-year-old Sarah Ann Widholm was found unconscious on this path along the Garton Trail and rushed to hospital. And the on-call operating neurosurgeon was in shock over what he saw.
I don't know how this lady was injured, but it was with magnitudes of force that are just massive.
Dr. Balraj Jawar performed 2 surgeries on Widholm that day. While her fate is still uncertain, Jawar confirms she suffered brain damage in the incident.
Assaulting a 75-year-old senior citizen who was essentially defenseless in this brutal manner, the city should be outraged.
Dr. Jawar has been at the Ouellette campus for 12 years and says he's noticed an increase in blunt force trauma cases. He'd like to see the city take a zero-tolerance approach to assaults of any type because of what it does to the victims and the community at large.
It's so unfortunate now that people have to think twice about taking a morning walk. I already have heard from many people who are going to change their lifestyles now because of this incident.
This is something that our community should be outraged about.
Despite this, Sergeant Steve Betteridge with Windsor Police says people shouldn't be going out of their way to avoid that part of the Garton Trail because he says typically it's a very safe place.
It is a very extremely isolated incident. Very rare to have a unprovoked random attack of this nature.
Police say the quick action of the community very likely saved this woman's life and helped lead them to a suspect.
Our service, with the community's assistance, was able to identify, locate, and quickly arrest a party that we feel is responsible for this incredibly serious crime.
Dr. Jawar says his message is that people should think before throwing a punch.
I don't think people appreciate what a punch can do. A punch can kill someone.
As for Mrs. Widholm, she's still in intensive care. As we know, police have arrested and charged 21-year-old Habibullah Ahmad of Windsor with 1 count of aggravated assault. The incident has caught the attention of Mayor Drew Dilkins. He's inviting residents to walk the Garton Trail this Sunday at 11 in the morning. Members of Neighborhood Watch and Windsor Police will also walk to reaffirm the community's trails are safe and to support the Widholm family. Jim, we did reach out to the family, but the incident is still so fresh they didn't really feel comfortable speaking to us today.
Any indication whether there might have been witnesses at that time? We don't know how long the woman had been on the trail, do we, Rich?
Police are looking for witnesses. What they do know is that she was not there for long because people were able to spot her and call police very quickly, and that very likely saved her life.
Very well. Yeah. Thank you for the update tonight, Garton.